Are your metrics impacted by weather data? If you had access to forecast, historical information, upcoming storms and events, could that help you make better decisions? Well, today I'm going to explore how to get that weather data into a BI system like Dundas BI and show you how to use it. And if you're not interested in weather data, this will also be useful for you because it will show you how to work with online data. I'm Jeff, and this is Off the Charts with Jeff. So first of all, just a quick caveat. If you're not technical, this is probably not going to be a video for you. I'm going to get right down to the weeds. I'm going to make a data connection to a weather source, and I'm going to show you how to work with that data directly in Dundas BI. Still here? Great. Let's get right into it. Now, the thing with weather data is it's not a problem to use on a dashboard or report. The issue is typically getting access to that data because most people don't store weather data in their databases. One of the great sites that I like to use are our friends over at arisweather.com. They provide a wonderful API and allow you to connect and bring in all different sorts of data that you can use directly in Dundas BI. Sign up and create an account. Once you have an account, you need to go and get a client ID and a secret code. These will be used whenever you need to make a request. Once you're set up and ready to go, I recommend going over to their wizard section. I found this very helpful myself because it basically tells you everything you need to know in order to request weather data. By jumping over to the wizard, you can see that we have access to air quality, alerts, forecasting, lightning, you name it. Pretty much everything's available here for you to pull from. As an example, let's go into observations. And I'm going to do observation by location. And from there, you can simply type in the location that you want to see, include any additional parameters that you might want, and it will generate a URL that you can use in order to make that request and get that data. You notice on the right side of the URL, there's a section here to plug in that client ID and that secret code that I mentioned. So by going ahead and doing that, you have everything you need in order to pull this data and start using it in Dundas BI. So from here, we can just go to Dundas and start working on it. We've created a data cube, and the data cube can be used to both bring in data and prepare that data the way we need it. What I want to do is use one of those queries that I generated using the arisweather's wizard that I showed you, and I'm also going to contextualize that query so that we can use the latitude and longitude of the user so they can ask for data wherever they want to see it. So to do this, let's use the Python transform. Let's configure it. And I'm going to start by adding placeholders. These placeholders will later on a dashboard become parameters so that the user can set their own latitude and longitude that they want to see. Both of these are just going to be read as text, but I'm going to enter this as 50 lat, 50 long. So there's one. Let me just quickly do the other. We make these public because we do want to be able to show it on the dashboard, not just use these parameters within this data cube. Now that we have the placeholders set up, we can add a script. And our script is fairly simple. We're going to import the libraries that we need. We're going to retrieve that latitude and longitude from the placeholders that we just defined. And we're going to use them right in the query. So you can see us applying that latitude and longitude to the location that we're requesting. From there, we just import the data and then make it a flat table. That's all that's going on there. If you like this script and you want it, let me know. You can reach out at askjeff@dundas.com and we'll gladly send this to you. Now that we've saved it, you can see from the data preview that we're able to bring back data. Now the problem is those latitude and longitude that I entered are not valid. 50/50 doesn't actually correspond to any actual location where weather's being provided. So let's go back in the configure, let's take a look at those placeholders, and let's enter the location of a city that we know. So just for testing purposes, let's change that latitude and longitude to be that of Las Vegas. So -115, around there. And the latitude is 36.11. Say okay. And you can see by feeding that information in, the data preview is able to bring back all the weather data that I want to see based on that latitude and longitude. That's essentially all we need to do. just by using Python, we can bring that data in and it's ready to use. Now, I know this probably doesn't seem all that impressive just looking at what you saw with a single line of data being returned, but it's actually really cool. I've written a script. I've gone out to a third-party web source, and I've brought in contextualized data based on what I need to see. You can do this for anything. You can do this with stock data. Do you have an application or a marketer that's providing web-based data? Anything can be used using this concept. So although I'm using weather, it doesn't really matter. This concept can extract to anything web-based. It's really cool. Now let's go back into that data cube for a second. Inside of here, you can notice that we're bringing back a response date time. Now I may want to use that in my dashboard, but the problem is right now it's coming back as text. And Dundas using text, it wouldn't be anywhere near as flexible as if we had used this as an actual date object. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that data generation, and in between it, I'm going to add a data conversion operation. This will allow me to go in, find those dates that were coming back, and actually tell it I want you to treat it as a date. By simply applying that data transformation, I know it doesn't look much different here, but it's now a data object, and I can use that data object to just be a lot more sophisticated with what I do on the dashboard. So just be aware that there's a lot of flexibility here. In this data that we return, you'll notice that there's a response icon that comes back. One thing that Eris Weather allows you to do is they provide all of the icons that you might want to use. We can really quickly figure out where the URL for each one of these is and substitute that cloudy.png with a full URL and simply use what they're providing from the website directly, which is really nice if you wanted to actually create your own widget. So that's it for now. That's both how to connect and bring in third-party information, in our case, weather data. The next thing we're going to do is actually go ahead and build a widget utilizing this data and injecting those parameters. And do stay tuned on the Off the Charts with Jeff site, as we'll be posting the second part of this video later so that you can follow along if you'd like to learn how we can actually build that whole widget. If there's anything here that you'd like to have in terms of code or material, we'd love to hear from you at askjeff@dundas.com. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.